everyone, this is Kiana and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. So today I'm going to be trying something new that I never had tried before. I'm going to be doing some duck shaped nails. So for anybody that don't know what duck shaped nails are, they were very popular back in the 90s and in the 2000s, early 2000s, and basically they're just like this fanned out shape type of look. Towards the end of the nail it gets super wide, almost like a triangle, and these designs on these nails are pretty like bright, different type of designs on each nails. Some of them have like French tips on them and all this kind of cool stuff, and it really caught my interest because some nail techs nowadays are still doing this shape here and there. It's not for everybody because it was such a popular shape back then, and now it's like people don't really do that shape anymore. And personally for me, doing these nails, I don't know how I was able to function with them because like they so wide at the end, but I definitely think it was a look and I really liked it at the end, so they came out really great. So right now I'm just taking some nail tips out and trying to figure out how I'm gonna make this shape because I didn't have any dug nail tips on me, and there is some dug nail tips that are sold online, but you know, I really wanted to just work with what I had, so I just went ahead and just built it from the bottom up. So right now I'm just testing out different nail tips to see how it will look and how I will go about it. And towards the end, I should have just used the toe press-ons that I have right here and just did them by themselves instead of adding the extra nail tip on my nails. But it was a learning curve and I had so much fun doing this set, so you know, it was all right towards the end. But right now I'm just testing and comparing the shapes and seeing, okay, which way do I want to go about it. And then afterwards I'm just going to prep my nails like I usually do. And they still end up popping off. The nails popped off when I was filing because it always happens of the way how I prep my nails. But I don't want to keep the nails on all day, so I just kind of did the best I could. But right now I just added some top coat to my nails and I'm going to cure them in the lamp for about 60 seconds, and then I'm just going to put the nail tips right on and start shaping them to my liking. Okay, so now I'm just taking the toenail tip and I'm taking the biggest one I have for my thumb, and I'm just clipping the side walls down from the bottom at an angle to give it that triangle shape. And I'm just gonna match the width of the toenail compared to my own nails to make sure that it blends in well. Now I end up taking the nail tip off because I didn't really need it for my thumb, because the dug nails I wanted to be more wider, and I felt like the nail tips that I added was just making it too slim. And in my mind, when I'm doing nails, I'm thinking I'm trying to make sure that the shape is not too wide, you see. But with these type of nails, you want them to be wide enough. So I end up clipping the nail tips down just a little bit more shorter, just that they wasn't too slim looking. And then after that, I went ahead and prepped my nails like usual. Okay, so after I finished redoing the thumb, I went ahead and added the nail tip just straight on my nails. Now, filing was the hardest part for me because Again, I'm so used to doing my nails a certain way that when I have to do it in a almost opposite way than I'm usually doing it, then sometimes it mind boggles me. So I try to file it the best way I could at an angle. You basically want to file instead of how you say it? I can't explain it. Basically, like, you want to file kind of like at an angle going inward at the nail, but you don't want to file it at a point where it actually evens out the shape and it makes it look more like a square. You want to keep that triangle shape, but you just want it more slimmer at the middle. It was kind of weird, but I was able to get used to it after doing the other nails and being able to get used to doing the file a certain way. But it was definitely difficult, especially the nails kept popping off, so it made it even harder for me. But I was able to, learn a little bit about how to file the nails in a way to maintain that wide fan shape. So yeah, it was definitely a learning curve. I could definitely say that. Okay, so now the next thing I'm doing is blending the middle part where the nail tip meets my natural nail, and I'm just blending it down so that way it could be a little bit more flatter, because I felt like the acrylic would not go on as smoothly if it was just that huge bump in the way. So I'm just doing that right quick with my center bend. Okay, so now we're about to get to the fun part, which is the acrylic application. So I'm using my homemade nude acrylic that I made not too long ago. It's from Nina's Acrylic that I did a review on my YouTube channel, so you can definitely check it out. But I'm just using this homemade nude acrylic to do the base, because I'm planning on doing like a French tip type of design for this. And as you can see, the acrylic is also kind of like, marbling a little bit, so you can tell it's homemade, because really good acrylic would not marble like this. But I just wanted to try it out, and it still came out good regardless. It was just a little bit here and there. But yeah, I'm just applying that for the base of my nails, going in and outwards, and it definitely was a little challenge as far as how to put the acrylic down. Like, the tip was easy because I was able to just spread it all out and smooth it down. But then once I got into the middle, it's like I had to transition from small to big. So basically, instead of going from the middle of the nail and down to the nail where it's a little bit more slimmer. In this case, I'm going down to the nail that goes a little bit more wider. So I had to consistently add little beads here and there to kind of fill in any spaces that was not looking good, because it definitely was a challenge to make sure that the acrylic was smooth onto the shape. But eventually I caught on very quickly, and I was able to basically get this application done pretty good. Okay, so now we get on to the second nail, and the application was getting so much more easier for me because it was just a lot more smoother, and I didn't have to worry about struggling as much putting the acrylic on. My brush was really stiff, by the way, so it was hard for me to smooth the acrylic without getting any brush marks on there. So if the application looks a little wonky, that's simply because I did not soak my brush in acetone to get rid of any leftover acrylic that was in it. So yeah, just letting y'all know that. But I'm just continuing to do the same thing, just adding the acrylic, going all the way up and trying to smooth the bead down as much as I can. And also they kind of curve a bit, so if they do start to curve, that's totally fine by me actually. I like when they have a little curve, and plus some Doug nail tips have a slight curve anyways. So it all worked out at the end. But yeah, just continuing this step throughout the rest of the whole nails. Okay, and after the acrylic application, this is what they end up looking like. Alright, so now we get into the following part of the nails with the e-file, and all I'm doing is just flushing the cuticles, and this part wasn't really that bad. I had to basically just flatten out the nail a little bit more and even everything out since my brush wasn't so smooth, so I had a lot of brush marks. But afterwards it looked really good, and again, it wasn't really hard for me to catch on how to file the nails, so this part actually wasn't that bad for me. Okay, so now the last part of the filing is to crisp up that shape, and I really wanted a nice crisp shape for these nails, so I just filed the top a little bit more until it was looking a little pointy at the corners. And once I was starting to see the corners, I just went ahead and got rid of any imperfections that was on the nail, and I also filed the sides down a little bit to make them look a little bit more straighter. And yeah, like this part is what really made me was like, okay, I really like these dug nails so far. Like, I think I want to wear my nails like these all week, you know, because the shape was coming through. So I was starting to like it. After I had washed my hands and I tried to get off as much acrylic as I could, I was being really sloppy with the acrylic application, so it was still some of my hands. So if it looks a little crusty, don't worry about it. But right now I'm just gonna go ahead and get started on the design. So we are doing a cherry French tip design, and I'm using the white gel paint from Madame Glam to do the French tips, so I'm using that. And then I'm also going to be using some red and some green for the cherries, of course, and I might add a little extra here and there. I end up adding some rhinestones into the set as well, so I end up doing that to kind of add a little razzle dazzle. And I'm getting into some hand painting a little bit because I never hand paint that really much. I wanted to make sure that the French tip was thick enough on the nail where you can still see it, because I wanted enough room to add the cherries on there as well. So I'm just making sure that I add plenty of thickness to the French tip, so that way you can see a lot of that white, because again, with this type of set, you want it to really stand out. So I want to make sure that the French is Frenching the way it's supposed to be. And I went ahead and I repeated the same thing with the other nails. And then you will see later on in the video, I end up doing a red French tip for the red rhinestones, because I end up blinging that out as well. I also went ahead and added the cherry design at the bottom with the bottom part of my brush because I didn't have a dotting tool that was going to be big enough to do the circle that I wanted to do. So I'm like, let me be a little innovative and resourceful here, and just went ahead and got my brush and did it for the 2 cherries. Okay, so now I'm going in with Madalone's glitter polish, and this is the red kind. I absolutely love this color. I love this type of glitter. It just got the right amount of fine glitter in there and all that good stuff. But this is what's going to be used for the full bling. So I'm adding some on the cherries as well, but the French tip where the polish is at, I'm going to be adding some bling on there. After curing the nails for 30 seconds, I went in with a black polish, and I was holding my breath for this so long because the line was super fine, but I wanted to come out as good as possible. So I made a circle going around the cherries to accentuate the look and to make it look a little bit more detailed. So I did that, and this was, I would say, harder than doing the French because I did not want to screw it up. So I did the best I could for that. And once I was finished with that, I just took some white polish and added some white dots to kind of make the cherries look shiny. And then I also used the green polish to give the cherries their stems. Okay, and after another 30 to 60 seconds, now we're gonna get into the rhinestones. So initially I was going to paint some cherries on the white Frenchies, but I decided to do something different and actually use the red rhinestones as cherries. So I'm going to put the rhinestones on first on my French tips, and then after I do that, I'm gonna draw some green leaves on top of them. At first they were stems, but I ended up doing them as leaves instead, and I thought that came out so cool. So I ended up doing that instead. Okay, so after curing the nails for about another 60 seconds, I just went ahead and added the rhinestone gel on this nail, and I added a top coat. And I could have just left it just like this because of how cute it looked, and it didn't really need much else, but I just felt like I really wanted to go out there and just added some foil bling onto this French tip. So that's exactly what I'm doing, and I'm just taking random sizes and just filling them wherever I could fill them at, and just adding them to the red French tip. Okay, so after I am done with everything, this is how my nails came out looking, and they look so cute. That cherry design looks so good on the shape, and honestly, I'm gonna do the cherry design on my other nail sets, so I might even post this design on Etsy. Not this specific shape, but just for all the other nail sets. But just look at that. I mean, honestly, for some duck nails, they look pretty cute. And I mean, if I had a choice, I would definitely rock this style for about 2 weeks just to have fun with it. But ain't no way I could function with these type of nails at all. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Do y'all like duck nails? Do you think duck nails are a vibe, or it should be, you know, coming back, or should you just leave it in the 90s and the 2000s and be like, no, we do not need that shape coming back? But y'all let me know on the comments below. Otherwise than that, go ahead and subscribe, like this video if you like, you know, everything that you see, and hit that notification bell for more updates on more videos I'm posting. And also go ahead and follow me on my social media pages for more updates on my Etsy shop and other things going on. So I'll see y'all there. Thanks for watching this video. I had so much fun doing this set, and like I said, it came out really cute. So I'm really surprised, you know, that this shape came out great. It's definitely a vibe, and for my first time, it's not bad. So I'll see y'all on my next one. Have a good day and be safe, y'all. Bye.